Do you remember that couple that adopted an adult pretending to be a child? Well, there's a recent update. If you don't remember this story, the Barnetts were a family who already had kids and were looking to adopt. An adoption agency they'd never heard of called Christine and Michael Barnett out of the blue to tell them about Natalia Grace. This foster child had recently become available and was supposedly 6 years old and from Ukraine. Her adoptive parents now say that American doctors told them Natalia Grace is a sociopath and scammer. At her first bath time, her parents were horrified to find that the 6-year-old had a full bush. Christine also claimed that Natalia would menstruate and had no interest in children's toys. And on top of that, she was violent. They say she once poured bleach in her adoptive mom's coffee and tried to push her into an electric fence. They would also wake up in the middle of the night with Natalia standing over them. She would also threaten to stab them with knives, and these threats are corroborated by the Barnetts' friends. And her previous foster family that gave her up said it was because she tried to hurt one of their children. The only records Natalia had to verify that she was a child was her Ukrainian birth certificate and a single doctor's report. And the Barnetts claimed that a bone density test showed that Natalia was at least 14. And Natalia confessed to pretending to be younger than she really was during a stay at a psychiatric unit. And I would love to see these medical records, but due to HIPAA, they're sealed. In 2012, the Barnetts changed Natalia's birth year from 2003 to 1989, changing her from an 8-year-old girl to a 22-year-old woman. They also rented her an apartment to stay in by herself, and a few months later, the Barnett family moved to Canada, leaving 8/22-year-old Natalia behind. Natalia lived off food stamps for a year before going to the police, and that's when the Barnetts were arrested and charged with neglect. Natalia's done Dr. Phil episodes, and she said that living alone was really difficult because being a little child, she didn't know how to cook or count money. And this made people sus because if she was a little child, how would she be able to survive alone for a whole year? It should be noted that Natalia now lives with a new foster family that says she's not lying about her age. Reporters located her birth mom back in Ukraine, who said in 2019 Natalia was 16, which still meant that Natalia was cutting her age in half when she was telling people that she was 8. Like I said, the Barnetts were arrested and charged, but last year Michael Barnett was acquitted by a jury after just 2 hours of deliberation. And Christine had her charges dismissed. And you may be asking, isn't this a plot of a movie? And yes, the 2009 horror film Orphan is about a family that adopts a Russian woman pretending to be a child. And Natalia came into the Barnetts' lives just a year after. So maybe Natalia or the Barnetts watched it and got inspired. Investigation Discovery is coming out with a mini-series on this, and I will definitely be watching, and let me know if you want me to talk about this more on my account.